So, oh my god. Today's episode is gonna be about life fucking lessons, and I assume it's gonna be a great episode, and I'm so freaking pumped, I can't even tell, and I hope that I'm also showing that, I hope that I'm also showing that fucking pumpedness that is going through my fucking veins for what we're going to go through today, or actually, in general, the podcast today. But yeah, see you after the intro, actually. See you after the motherfucking intro, And today's episode is gonna be about life lessons. And just because I've liked the life lesson section on the jamesclear.com website so fucking much, I've decided to look up life lessons. And voila, I found something. And I assume it's gonna be something. I don't know if it's gonna be great. I don't know if it's gonna be amazing, but it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something to go through, maybe something pretty nice. But yeah. This article is as well from the Inc.com website. The article is called 24 of the Most Powerful Life Lessons. And there you can see, there are 24 lessons. They're all relatively short. So I don't know. I could actually go through them once at a time or one at a time. I could do that, The thing is, I don't know if this makes sense and I don't know if this is even good. The thing is, should we go through all of them today? Should we go through half of them today? What should we be doing? This is the question that I have to ask myself, But yeah, I think I'll just go ahead and read, and we will see through the episode or during the episode what we're going to do, what we're going to make with all these great life lessons, or at least I assume they are great, and I also hope they are great. I don't know if they are great, but we will see. This actually is as well from the lead section of the Inc.com website, because as you can see, if I'm just clicking here on the three lines or whatever it is, there you can see there's a lead section, which is now yellow. Well, not actually yellow, but orange. Yeah, I'm a graphic designer. One of the other articles that we went through on the Inc.com website were also, or one of them was also, I think it was with the hotels and resorts guy. I think it was also from the lead section, just because it is, I think, the main article from the lead section, but I don't actually know, I can't tell, I don't know, but yeah, it is what it is. But I'll just go ahead and read. I assume I see. 24 of the most powerful life lessons. If you're going to succeed in life, you have to learn life's most important lessons. And I guess everybody somehow learns them. Some people quicker, some people not so quick or not quite as immediate as other people do. And I think it just really also comes up to, what you're doing in terms of if you're just stepping out of your comfort zone, if you're just trying new shit, if you're just doing stuff, because the more you try, I guess, the more will happen and the more you will fail and the more often you will fail, which is, I think, actually good. It is not necessarily something bad, but yeah, something you have to decide maybe for yourself as well, if you want to do so or not. But I would totally suggest you to just try out a lot of things, especially also to see what you really like, what is really the thing that you are willing to do your whole life long. Just because having a secure and safe job from the beginning of your life on, with 24 or something, whenever you start to work actually, then I don't know if it is the best thing. If you're just working on the exact same job or working the exact same thing your whole life long, without actually having tried something. Because there's so many different things you can be doing. You can be a graphic designer, and especially in the creative kind of realm or space, there's so many different things you can be doing. I don't know, I could just make movies as well. I can think about it, or I could just, I can think about it. I could, if I want to. I can still be a graphic designer. I can do two things at a time. It is especially possible nowadays, with the whole freelancing thing, even though it is not the easiest thing, but we can do just a lot of things just parallel. It is possible, for sure. It's gonna be just a little bit more stress, I assume, and a little bit more work, but yeah, we can to maybe, be happy, I assume, I guess, I can think about. But yeah, let's actually see what life lessons we are going to encounter. Oh, there's just a little bit to read. So how you approach life says a lot about who you are. There are some who are content to passively coast through, hoping they land where they need to be and know what to do when the time comes. Then there are others who make active choices to understand who they are and what they want and set the goals that will keep them moving in the right direction. But a big part of having a successful life is learning how to cope with the lessons that life has to teach us. Here are 24 powerful life lessons that will happen to us. Learn how they will be significant. So yeah, the thing is, and that might actually be kind of the benefit of going through these life lessons kind of paragraphs, I have to say. I think you can learn and you can see, okay, what things could come up in your life and what things could happen in your life, even though it is just really like potentially, theoretically, it could be the case that some of these things are going to happen to you, but not necessarily. But, if one of these things comes up, maybe you know how to act, maybe you know what you should be doing, which is also the amazing thing about books, I have to say. Like, going through books, and especially if it's a biography or some self-help stuff or whatever, where people basically talk about what they have experienced, what they have done, what they have just seen, what they have been gone through and whatsoever. I think one of the most important things we can learn from that is how we can deal with these things. And it is basically, and also something that a lot of people have been talking about before, it is basically like, okay, these people prevent me or prevent us from doing the exact same mistakes they did. Potentially and theoretically, sometimes you're still gonna make them, but that is okay. It really is okay, unless you're not getting crippled by them. Unless you're not being like, oh no, my life is gone. My life is over just because I did that one mistake, which is not the case. Mistakes happen, failures happen. Unless it is actually something so fucking severe that's gonna be amazingly bad for you, which is actually very, very, very rarely the case. Everything is everything is good. Like, we can still live, and there's really not a lot of things that, that are so severe and so bad and so whatsoever that you would actually, feel it 2 years afterwards as well, or just still. Let's actually go through these amazingly, hopefully, life lessons. The first one is, make yourself necessary and you will always be needed. If you want to feel successful, learn to create, innovate or design something other people can use and need. Makes sense. But I truly believe and I truly like the title of it, which is make yourself necessary and you will feel always be needed and you will always be needed, because I genuinely think that it is actually the truth. Companies need people, and if you're such a person that the company just needs, it's gonna pay you a fucking lot of money. If you are like, okay, I'm gonna leave the company, I think they're gonna think about actually giving you a payment raise, just because you're so necessary to the whole fucking company. And there, it just really comes up to your skills, but not only the hard skills, but I think also the soft skills, like especially when you're in sales or whatever you're doing. But also when you're creative, if you're good at just everything, and if you're just the best in the whole fucking company for everything, whether it be graphic design, whether it be all of these together, like graphic design, filming, post-production, and all these things, if you're just the best in the fucking company, in the whole fucking company, then they're gonna fucking pay you, and they're gonna fucking pay you so that you're not leaving, because they fucking need you. And which means that you're necessary for the fucking company. The thing is it easy to just have such a status in the company or in a company? I think it depends on the company as well. Like, if it's a real fucking big corporation, maybe it's gonna be a little bit more difficult, than being in a, small business with 3 guys and 3 girls as well. Might not be that hard. I think with big corporations is okay, they have a lot of fucking people working for them, and chances are pretty high that there's gonna be someone that is just better at something than you are. I guess you see what they mean, what I mean, I at least hope. But I really think being a necessity for the company is it's just gonna give you a lot of money, or it's just gonna earn you a lot of money, I guess. just because it would make sense for me. I actually don't know, because it has never been the case for me. I've only heard it once in another article, and therefore I've just also recapped it in exactly the exact same way, if I remember correctly. But the thing is, I haven't experienced it before. Like, I can't really tell, like really, really fucking tell, because I haven't experienced it. But I assume, this is what my brain, this is what my brain says, and this is what I feel like, this is what I assume. Let's actually see what the second one is. The second one. Your thoughts are like boomerangs. What you pass along to others is what will come back to you. It totally reminds me on the law of attraction, which is basically like, okay, what you send out into the world is going to come back to you, which I generally, it still depends on what example you're actually, choosing. I think it's actually true. And it also plays in the whole thinking of mine that you should always be nice and you should not be a dick and you should really be like the best and kindest and most generous person there is. Just because, like, if you're nice to people and if you're just like, if you're kind and always generous and whatever, people, there's no fucking way why people should be fucking mad at you or should be, fucking bad to you. Like, it wouldn't at least make any sense. Like, of course, there is gonna be still the case, just because people are people and it is what it is. But it wouldn't make any fucking sense. It really would not make any sense. Still, as I said, there's just gonna be the case, There's gonna be some occasions, some situations where it's just gonna be it, I don't know, I do not fucking know. The third one. The third one. But to just maybe get back to the second one once again, I think to be emphasized is definitely the thought thing, it is, because I was basically talking about speaking to other people and interacting and communicating with other people, but I don't know, thinking in a positive way will just give you a positive life, will give you a positive, environment as well, I guess, and I think even though it is as well such a cringy, well, not even that cringy, but it got so mainstream, the whole mindset thing and the whole kind of motivational stuff thing, it got really fucking just trendy, and well, hipster, is it hipster? I don't know, but it got really trendy, and I hope, and I'm just thinking about it, I really hope that I didn't hop on it or jump on it just because it was such a trendy train, I hope not. I really hope not. To some degree. To some other degree, I just totally give a fuck about it because what I'm doing here is something that matters for me and hopefully also matters to some other people that are watching or listening and whatever they are doing. But to come back to it once again, I believe that it definitely just also has something to do with your thoughts, like just thinking in a positive way will give you a positive life and a positive attitude and a positive whatsoever. It's just going to be such a chain of reactions, I at least assume, which is good, which is amazing. It is definitely about thoughts, and people say, as I've just started initially, people say like everything begins with a thought and then we speak and then we do and then, whatsoever. I guess it's like the truth. Like, I can't say anything against it somehow, unfortunately, because I just would like to, because like it is such a trendy thing and a lot of these really fucking trendy things in the end are just bullshit sometimes, but I shouldn't fuck with the trendy stuff. I should fuck with my stuff. The third one, you are more defined by what comes out of your mouth than what goes in it. What do you think? It would be actually very amazing. It would actually be very amazing to have a community that is actually also kind of replying to my fucking, questions. Sad life. It's gonna be a fucking black and white screen right now. I remember that when I'm editing it, I'm gonna do that. I at least hope. The thing is, the thing is, people around you and the people that are surrounding you definitely matter just such a lot. They really matter. They just really matter, you know. There's nothing to say against it. Like, the people around you just fucking matter. It is what it is. You can just, I don't know, talk about it in such a like, okay, no, it is actually not right way, but it still is right, you know, at least in my point of view. The thing is, yeah, you know, what you're talking about is definitely what you're also thinking about, and it is definitely then also your opinion. So therefore, like, yeah, I understand what they're saying, but I don't know. Let's actually read the whole thing. The way you speak and the things you say have power. Speech gives us the power to create or destroy. It really is, you know, like, in terms of people, like, if you're just talking to them in a positive way, you are able to create them, you're able to build them up, you're able to motivate them, you're able to do so many things. And if you talk to them in a bad way and in a shitty way, in a like, okay, fuck you way, of course, you know, you're also able to destroy them. You're also able to hurt them pretty fucking much, you know. Actually, maybe way too much, but I don't know. I do not know. Yeah. I'm just actually thinking about doing something with my microphone, because I've looked up some microphones and how much they are and whatever, to maybe buy myself one, just because, yeah, I see, like, I'm still gonna do it in, I don't know, a year, I guess, or at least hope, and investing like $30 or something is not that bad, even though it really fucks with me, to be honest. It really is like, I don't know, it really is like, I really do not want to spend any fucking money, you know. I just really love, to be honest, I really love and really like to just work with what I'm having, you know, because I actually have a lot, you know. I can use my fucking phone as a microphone, which, you know, in terms of the microphone, or buying myself like a studio microphone or a real quote unquote microphone, I don't even know if the quality is gonna be so much better, you know, especially if I'm buying myself some budget ones, and then whatever, I don't know if it is then better. The thing is, I could then use my phone as a camera. I don't know if this is better as what I'm having right here. You know, could be the case, could also not be the case. I would just have to experiment with that. Maybe I'm gonna do that afterwards. You know, just see, maybe also trying to get everything out of this microphone. I could also be doing that, you know, because I assume, and I somehow think that I'm not, I don't know, I think I could do better to actually maximize the quality that I can get out of this one, even though it's just a phone. I think the quality is actually pretty well, you know. In terms of the YouTube video, it's perfect. Like, you do not need something better, especially if there's some music in the background, you don't even hear anything. The thing with the podcast is, just because you're only having the audio, and the audio is only the thing that you can concentrate on and that you are having, you know, because, okay, if you have a YouTube video, you have two things you are able to concentrate on. The first thing is definitely the video, and the second thing is definitely the audio. So yeah, you know, I don't know. I still edit the audio in post, you know, for the podcast and whatever. But yeah, you know, I think I could do better. Maybe to just have to experiment a little bit and Google a little bit as well. Like, yeah, you know, I think the first thing that I'm always gonna do is Googling it, and some people actually don't, and I quite don't understand that. Like, I really don't. You know, Google knows fucking a lot of things, you know. The first thing that I'm doing when I'm just in need of something, in need of some information, when it is about Photoshop or when it is about some other stuff that I just need to know in my fucking life, I'm just gonna fucking Google it. Like, it's really the first thing that I'm doing. But yeah, you know, but I also just somehow understand the people that are, well, I do not understand the people that are not doing that, but yeah, like, I still do understand them in some degree, even though I don't know, like, empathy, you know, it is empathy. The fourth one, the journey of your success will always begin with the small step of taking a chance, which is what I'm doing right at a time. You know, I'm taking the chance of actually having the podcast, of making the podcast, of trying to create something, you know, trying to do something here. In business, in relationships, and in life, it all begins with a small step, grounded in a desire to be better and to do better. I don't necessarily think that it has something to do with being better and or doing better. Well, okay, well, yeah. Well, you know, okay, it is actually the thing. You know, it is actually the thing. Like, I'm just thinking about relationships and, you know, having a relationship and then just, you know, having another relationship. I think it is really like, okay, the old relationship was just shit and the new one's gonna be hopefully better, or you're assuming it's gonna be better. In business, it's also a drive, I have to say. Like, okay, you wanna have a bigger business, you want to make more money, you want to help more people, whatever it is, you want to just do better. As long as I, or as far as I can see that, or as I can think about that now. So yeah, in the end, it really has often something to do with just being better and trying better and trying to do better, actually, because often we don't know. Like, I think we actually know never if it's just for sure gonna be better, if it's for sure just gonna be nicer, better, whatever. But yeah, let's actually also go through the fifth one, and then that's gonna be it with the episode. Your education is never complete. Determined to live fully and continually learn. Prepare for what life has to teach by being open to the lessons in everything you do and experience. Something as well, like, I think everybody knows that, but we will never just stop learning, I guess. There's always going to be something you learn, especially if you're just doing a lot of different shit in your life. Like, through the podcast and through just the posts that I'm doing every single day, I've learned so much. I at least think I've learned so much. Just, in terms of, audio production and, cutting the episodes and whatsoever, it just gives me a lot of fucking value, because I have to learn such a lot of things to actually do what I'm doing right here. Like, without what I've learned just up to this point, I would not have been able to just do what I'm doing here, unless I've then just started to learn it and whatsoever. But you are just basically really forcing yourself to learn a lot of shit just because you need it. And this is also the reason why I do like that people are doing stuff, or I do like when people are doing stuff, just because I understand and I've seen and I've experienced it myself, that they actually learn a lot of things by just doing stuff, because you're then forced to actually learn, because there's going to be a point and there's going to be a situation where you just need this information, and you're going to just need the other things, the other knowledge there is for actually just overcoming that obstacle or overcoming that whatever it is, and you just then need the information. It is not really about like, okay, I want to have it. For sure, maybe you also want to have it, but you somehow are in need of it, and therefore I really like to do shit. It still comes up to who you are, just because some people are really able to learn in school, and some people are just really able to learn in just real life kind of scenarios where they are doing shit. It really comes up to you, and you should be honest and truthful to yourself about what type of learner you are, because there are different ones. Maybe that's actually going to be the next episode. It's going to be about learning, how people learn, because I can think about three things. Like, the first thing is definitely just being in school and whatsoever. The second thing is doing shit, and the third thing is osmosis, which is basically like, okay, having like, it's also like school, like, it is like, okay, there is somebody and he's showing you how it is doing, and basically by watching this person, you're learning what he's capable of doing and what he's able to do, and then you're able to do it just because you've watched this person. This is osmosis as far as I actually know. Maybe it's actually not the truth, but I don't know, as I said. But yeah, it was a very, very, very informative and amazing episode, at least in my point of view. And I hope it's also going to be just somehow interesting and nice to watch, especially with the whole editing and whatsoever. But yeah, I wish the best health of happiness and also success, and I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you gonna be remembered, which is basically your legacy. And we control our legacy. We have the legacy in our hands, even though, you can be the kindest person on the fucking planet and still not everyone's gonna like you. It is what it is, at least at my point of view. But yeah, I'll see you the next time. Thank you very much. And yeah, I see you.